Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about ride or die makeup products. I actually was looking through my videos, I don't know, like a week or two ago, and I stumbled upon an old video that I did in 2016, and it was titled like 10 Holy Grail makeup products, like something like that, like products I can't live without or something. And I was super curious. I was like, I wonder what my products were, like my holy grails from 2016. So I watched the video and I was really surprised at some of the products that I mentioned on there. I noticed that not one single product from 2016 was on my ride or die list now. So I thought it might be fun to kind of compare and just like talk about what I loved then versus what I'm loving now and why, and just, chat about it. I did do a podcast episode on this topic, so if you guys are interested in that, head over to the podcast. The links are in the description box down below for the various platforms that we are on. And if you are new here to the channel, hi, my name is Jamie. I do beauty videos 3 times a week. I would love it if you would subscribe before you go. And if you guys would like to hear what my ride or die products were in 2016 and what they are now, then keep on watching. I feel like, there are so many products being released, and we talk about it all the time. Like, there's thousands and thousands of products that have come out since 2016. So it's just so interesting because I feel like, if products are not drastically improving between 2016 and 2019 and making our makeup game better, then what is the point in all of these products that keep coming out, right? It's like, well, why do I keep buying all of these products, or why do I have such an extensive makeup collection if it's all the same shit, But comparing what I loved back then to what I love now, it's very clear that products have improved, things are better. I have found things that have improved my makeup game, and it's not all the same shit. So that's kind of why I wanted to do this video. So the first thing in 2016 that I had on my list was the It Cosmetics CC Plus, I don't know, full coverage cream. They don't call it a foundation, but it's pretty much a foundation. And I loved this because it really gave me great coverage, and it helped with my pores, and it just helped really make my skin look nice and flawless. The problem though is, at that time in 2016, there weren't a ton of really long wear foundations, like foundations that would last forever. Like, there was no 24-hour wear foundations really. And I'm definitely the type of person who doesn't like to touch up my makeup. I like to put my makeup on and not touch it again. So when long wear foundations started popping up, I quickly abandoned my CC Plus, even though that was a product I had used for like a year straight. The one foundation that just always comes to mind when someone's like, what is your like go-to foundation? What's your favorite foundation? It is always and forever the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. It's not because of the finish, because the finish is matte, and that's not like my number one favorite finish. But this foundation lasts forever, and it's waterproof, which, I mean, it's a dream come true, right? This product is bomb. So what I like to do with it is I like to mix it. Now, there are 2 foundations that I love mixing it with. The Infallible Fresh Wear, which is a good foundation on its own. But my favorite combo, like of all time, is the Pro Glow, the L'Oreal Pro Glow, and the Urban Decay All Nighter. That is what I have on my face right now, are these 2 together. I have this shade, this super dark shade, because I use it to color match. I have the shade 4.0, and it's a bit too yellow and it's a bit too light for me. So I add in these drops and I just adjust the color. Like, I still think it's a tiny bit too yellow, but it's fine. Like, I get away with it, I think. And so I use the deeper shade just for shade matching purposes. But this is a glowy foundation and this is a matte foundation. So it just leaves like a nice finish. Like I just love the combo together. Like I don't feel like my face looks too matte. Like there's still a sheen happening. Like you can see in the center of my face here where I don't have any highlight. Like there's still a sheen to the skin. So I love this because you get the waterproof, you get the long wear, and then when you mix it, you get a little bit of, you get more of a skin-like finish. It's a dream team. It's a dream team. So for me, I would rather have that than a foundation or like the CC Plus that will wear off after 6 hours. For some people, that's fine because some people don't wear makeup that long. But for me, when I put my makeup on, like I want it to last. I do not want to have to worry if it's going to break up, if it's going to start falling apart, if I'm going to need to touch up, if I'm greasy. Like I don't want to think about any of that. I know for some people this is a little too much. Some people think this is a little too heavy. I mean, I can see where you would think that if you used it on your own, it can look heavy. But I don't think this really looks that heavy, and it mixes well with so many foundations. So I really love it. So then the next product in 2016 that I listed that I loved was the RCMA No Color Powder. Who remembers this? It came in this god-awful Parmesan cheese shaker packaging, but at the time it was a great powder. Kathleen Lights came up with it. Like, she found it and she did a video and she included it in her video, and the next thing you know, every influencer had it. It was a good powder, but I think what the biggest draw was how much product you got. Like $10 for this giant shaker full. And it was decent, you know, but I feel like powder formulas have come such a long way since then. And I think the goal for most people is they don't want to look powdery. And the only powder, or one of the few powders that I have found that really, you know, you can put on your under eyes even if you're like in my age group, which I'm in my 40s. Most women in their 40s are struggling with dryness under their eyes, so they don't want to put powder under there. But the powder that I've found that you can really put under there, no matter what your age is, that's not going to dry you out, is the Hourglass Veil Powder. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, this is an expensive ass powder. But there is something in this powder, I don't know, it's like micro fine, like hint of a sheen, and that sheen basically makes it so that it doesn't look powdery. I have this on my face right now. Like, look at the center of my face. There's a glow on my skin, and I have large pores, so I don't like to put anything with shimmer or glowiness in the center of my face typically, because that does not work out well for me. This is not that. It's not shimmery. It just, I don't know what they did and how they did it, but they just did. They made a powder that literally will set your makeup and not look like powder. It's freaking genius. Expensive, yes, but a good product. Now, if you are oily, I do not recommend this because your oils are going to shine through. This is not going to keep your oils at bay, like at all. I don't think. Because, like, look at the sheen in my skin. Like, you can see. And I don't know if that's my natural oils kind of creeping through or if the powder just gives me that. I don't know. I feel like maybe it's a combination. I don't know. But this, I don't think, is a good product if you are oily. But if you're dry, it's fantastic. Okay, next I had the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed Powder on my list. That used to be like my favorite thing to minimize my pores because there wasn't a ton of pore minimizing products that actually worked. For me, I had felt like pore minimizing was such a gimmick because I have really large pores and I had never found anything that actually minimized them. And when that product came out, I was like blown away. But since then, there have been a lot of improvements in the pore minimizing world. And so because of that, I've switched my way of doing things. So instead now, I use a pore minimizing primer. And I have two. I have the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and I have the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I feel like these are very dupable. Very large gap in price points. This is $8. This is $52. This wears a bit longer than this one, but for the price point, I feel like they're very similar. I have the e.l.f. one on my skin right now, and I'm cool with it. Like, I like it. I think it looks good. Anyway, both of these do a great job at kind of giving me a nice smooth canvas before I even go in with my makeup. So this combined with, you know, the right concealer and a good powder, it's all the pore minimizing I need, and I don't need that extra powder step. So I feel like my makeup style or my makeup process or the order and the products that I use now is very different than it was in 2016 because products have improved so much. So for my concealer, I have the Pure Disappearing Ink Concealer on my list. I loved this concealer back then, but this was pre-Shape Tape. Like, this was before, like, concealers had the level of coverage that we see now. Once Shape Tape came on the scene, it, like, changed everything for concealer. That is not my favorite, but you know, I was on that train. I was on the Shape Tape train when it first came out. But I find that it's a little bit too drying for me now. My favorite concealer of the moment, I was going to say the e.l.f. Camo, but I actually kind of need to give it to the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue. This is the concealer. I have not put it down since I got it. But the e.l.f. Camo Concealer is $5, and it's really good too. Like, I really loved that one. I used it for a long time before some new ones came out, and I have to say I've been using this a ton, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Next, we have the Pure Glow Together Bronzer. That bronzer, still to this day, I feel was the best bronzer ever made, and it got discontinued. It was this beautiful, first of all, it was the size of my head. It had one side that was matte, one side that had like a shimmer in it, and you swirl it together and you would just get the most beautiful sunlit glow ever. And then they discontinued it, and it was a very, very sad day. I do still have one that I never opened. What I'm going to do with it, I don't know, but I don't use it because I'm afraid of it going away. It's so silly. But anyway, it was the most beautiful bronzer. I still haven't found anything I love quite as much as that. But right now, what my ride or die bronzer is and has been is the Fenty Stalker bronzer. I have mine in Caramel Cutie. If you guys watch my videos, you've seen me use this nonstop since like last spring when I got it. It's so pretty. It's what I have on right now. And I know it doesn't seem like this color would match or go, but like as you can see, it looks nice and it looks crazy different in the pan, but on my skin, I think it's just so good. Another Pure product was their Fully Charged Mascara. I loved that mascara. I still like it. I think it's a great mascara. However, it did get dethroned by the Lancome Monsieur Big mascara. I love that Lancome mascara. I love it so much. I think there's a lot of great mascaras at the drugstore. You don't need to spend that much money on a mascara, whether it be the Pure or the Lancome. Like, you don't need to spend that much on a mascara. Like, let's just be real. But the Lancome mascara does make me look like I have crazy false lashes. Like, it really does. Like, I think it's fantastic. Mine is gone. I used it all up and I don't have a replacement, but like the next time I have a chance to get one, I will. Do you need it? No, but does it give you magical false looking lashes? Yes. Next on my list was the ABH Glow Kit. Who remembers the Glow Kit? I thought this was the greatest highlight palette ever created. And at the time, It really was. It was so good. But there are lots of highlights that I like better now. I still love that one, don't get me wrong. But, like, you know, new products are coming out and I'm just trying new stuff. And I have to say that the Cover FX Face Perfector palette, or Perfector Face palette, definitely dethroned that one. This shade in particular, which looks really dark in the pan, but it is not that dark on the skin, but it is the most beautiful, reflective, shiny, lit from within, beautiful highlight. And if you are over 40, you will love this because it does not draw attention to texture. It just gives the most beautiful glow. And I just really, really love it because it's not super metallic, it's not glittery, it's not chunky, it's not thick, it's just very fine and thin and beautiful. So not what I'm wearing right now. Right now I have a Pixie highlight on, but I love the Cover FX one. I used it for months and months and months and months after I got it, and it's still one of my top faves. My favorite setting spray in 2016 was the NYX Matte Setting Spray. I loved the NYX Matte Spray. It was like $8 and it was awesome. I loved it so much. And then I discovered the Urban Decay All Nighter. This one is the best. It's the best in the business. I've never found anything that makes my makeup last longer than this. It's magic. It's hairspray for your face. Is it good for your skin? Well, that's another conversation. But will it lock your makeup in all night? Yes, it will. And for that reason, it is my favorite setting spray. And my last Ride or Die product from 2016 was this Pure Cosmetics Highlight and Strobe Kit. This is in Moonlit Glow. They have one in Sunlit Glow. That one was like my favorite one. I have it in my drawer somewhere. They discontinued this as well. I don't know why. It is a cream highlight kit, I guess. But there's a highlight shade, like a blush shade, and a bronzy shade. So they're all kind of light in tone, but that's how I would use them. I would just use a damp sponge to apply this to the top of my cheekbones, this over top like a blush topper, and then this like along the cheekbones for the bronze. They're not super glittery or shimmery or anything like that. They're glowy. So glowy. And I loved using this when I had like a little bit of a tan. It just made me look so fresh, so awake, so youthful, so beautiful, and then they discontinued the shit. I don't know why Pure does that. It's really annoying, but I've never found anything to replace this. There is nothing that I've come across that does what this can do. That doesn't mean it's not out there. It just means I haven't come across it personally. But one thing that I did discover is very, very similar is this highlight here from ColourPop. This formula is kind of similar. It's like a spongy, creamy sort of formula. So it does kind of give me a similar vibe. If I use my beauty sponge with this, I can get kind of a similar thing. Is it exactly the same? No, but it is similar. So that's, you know, if I didn't have this, I would use that. And then for contour, I've been really liking this. It's not really the same thing at all, but I've been loving this L'Oreal Infallible Longwear Shaping Stick for like bronzing and contouring the face lately. I don't know why. I don't have it on right now, but I have been using it lately and I think it looks so, so good on the skin. Total random side note there. So that is it for my 10 Ride or Die products from 2016 and my 10 Ride or Die products now in 2019. The things that I always reach for, the things that I'm loving, and you know, I think that all the products I mentioned, like I said, are a far bigger improvement formula-wise than the products I was using in 2016. Like, most of them are a formula improvement, I would say. Aside from, like, the ABH Glow Kit, which I still think has such a great formula. And then this Pure thing is, this Pure palette is so good. And then the bronzer, I mean, that bronzer. But, like, why discontinue good products? I don't know. So frustrating. But anyway, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell so you never miss when I upload a video. You can follow me on social. My handle is @GlamLatte. And don't forget the Glam Latte Beauty Podcast is on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, CastBox, and iHeartRadio. All those details are in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.
I just wanna hold you.